to share some aspect of an experience where he was a protege, and to define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring. It's always a pleasure to evaluate Mac's speeches, and today's no different. He told us the story of how he became a paratrooper in the Army in 1984, which is not very long ago. And I'm sure being in any sort of branch of the armed services would be something that requires a great deal of resilience. As always, Mac always tells a fabulous story. He gets everybody interested from the start, and it was a great story of how he was a protege, of how he worked with a mentor, what that entailed in his training as a parachute jump instructor. 128 lessons to learn, that seems like quite an enormous task. I noticed that Matt didn't use any notes, which I thought was fabulous, and I think that's when you are relaying a lived experience like that and you know the story so well, and you're just able to just completely engage with the audience because you don't have to be using those notes. So that was extremely well done, Mac. I did notice that there was a little bit of walking up and down, and when you had to think for a moment, you did look down instead of just looking out to the audience. And the walking back and forth, each time you turned around, you were turning your back on the people behind you. So perhaps that's something that you could work on next time, and maybe if you do move a little, to not turn completely with your back to parts of the audience. The other thing I noticed was your voice, of course, as usual, was great. You always have good volume, and even though I'm a little bit deaf and I was sitting up the back, it was really easy for me to hear. There's lots of variation in your tone, depending on what you were talking about. Your gestures were really good. You told us, used it to enhance your story and enhance your description of how you might go from A to B. You used your hands really well in adding to the story, and I like that you really kept to a great time frame. You didn't go over time, which is something that's difficult to do, especially when you're actually telling a story of your own experiences. So in conclusion, I think that you picked a great familiar topic which really worked well for you. I like the way you wrapped up at the end and brought in Toastmasters and drew in how you've been mentoring in a similar way in Toastmasters as you were shown when you were a protege. I liked that you kept it engaging and that you concluded really well and came back to the whole point and purpose of your speech. So well done, Matt, thank you.